everyone. I'm Ryan Thompson. I'm the Chief Mobilization Officer at the Harris campaign.
And I'm Nadia Nisha Belkin. I'm the National AA/NHPI Engagement Director on the Harris campaign. We are coming to you live from our studio at Harris HQ here in Wilmington, Delaware. Thank you all for joining us today. This has been another exciting week for the Harris campaign. As many of you saw, on Tuesday evening in Georgia, we held our biggest rally to date. And just yesterday, the virtual voting for delegates officially began. As you may or may not know, the vice president needs to exceed 50% of the votes to become the Democratic nominee for president.
And folks, we are literally in the middle of the process to nominate Vice President Harris, and we thought we'd give you all a behind-the-scenes look at the voting process from around the country and highlight the tremendous effort by everyone who has put into casting their ballots and rallying support behind her.
Yes, and we will be tracking the votes in real time. So in just a few minutes, we're going to be joined live by our Director of Delegate Operations, Eli So, who is here at HQ tracking the ballots as they come in. He's going to give us an up-to-date look on the progress towards 2,350 votes, which is the threshold that Vice President Harris needs in order to secure the nomination. We're also going to be checking in with one of our local labor delegates, Robert Corona of IBEW Local 11, as well as the Nevada State Party Chair, Danielle Monroe Moreno. Before we get to all of that, we want to remind everyone to continue to stay engaged and active in this campaign. As always, please visit kamalaharris.com/organize to join up, to volunteer and find an event near you.
Please make sure to sign up. Now, let's check in with Eli and the Harris for President Delegate Operations team to give us an update on where the voting stands. Hey, Eli.
Thanks, Ryan. And hi, everyone. We are all, as you can see, hard at work making calls to delegates here. And over the past 2 weeks, we've been in touch with our delegates across the country, and we're working to get out their votes in order to nominate the vice president. So our goal is to turn out the vote for all of the delegates ahead of our deadline on Monday, August 5th. But in doing so, we are continuing to build excitement for Chicago. And this is such an important part of the vice president securing the nomination. Let's go back to Ryan and Nadia in the studio.
Thanks, Eli. That was really cool to see. We'll continue to check in with you throughout this call to see where the votes stand. And for everyone watching, we wanted to show you all this ballot tracker. As you can see, the votes are now at 2,302, and the vice president needs 2,350 votes to secure the nomination.
Wow, we are getting close. Now we're going to hear from one of those delegates who is casting their vote. Please welcome to the show IBEW Local 11 Business Manager from California, Robert Corona. Over to you.
Hi, everybody. Robert Corona from IBEW Local 11 here in Los Angeles. As a California delegate for Kamala Harris, a son of a bracero, a veteran, and a union member for over 32 years, I'm proud to cast my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris from her hometown state of California. Vice President Harris has been a strong advocate for worker organizing and training, creating pathways to good union jobs. Major unions across various sectors quickly came out to endorse Vice President Harris. Educators, construction workers, healthcare professionals, farm workers, postal workers, service and public employees, as well as workers in communications, hospitality, nursing, transportation, utilities, and manufacturing. All are joining the growing list of supporters because she has a strong record of standing with working people. In this virtual roll call, countless labor leaders and union presidents have shown their support and voted for Vice President Harris. She has a proven track record of standing with workers. Now it's our turn to stand with her. Personally, I'm voting for Vice President Harris because of her unwavering commitment to labor rights and her personal dedication to supporting union workers and to make sure that this Inflation Reduction Act is followed through with. And on a real personal note, I'm a father of four, three of which are three strong young ladies. And we got to make sure that we get those rights back for the women that's been taken away and make sure that nothing else is taken away from those ladies. As the vice president in the most pro-labor administration ever, I'm excited to continue this work with her and finish the job. Back to you.
Thank you, Robert, for joining us and sharing your story of support for Vice President Harris. All right, I think it's time we check back in with Eli. Over to you.
Thanks so much, Nadia. Well, since we last spoke, 22 delegates have cast their ballots, and we're continuing, of course, to make calls so that we can hit our numbers and ensure that the vice president has all of the necessary ballots to meet that threshold and be the nominee, as you could hear just going off there. We also want to make sure that every delegate has a chance to vote before that deadline on August 5th, but that's where the ballots stand as of now. So I will go back to the studio with Ryan and Nadia.
Thanks, Eli. All right, folks, as we mentioned, we are now going to head to Nevada to hear from State Party Chair Danielle Monroe Moreno, who is with the Nevada Democrats right now. Look at the room. Welcome, Danielle.
Chair of the Nevada State Democratic Party. My team and I just finished a tour of all 17 counties here in our beautiful, great state of Nevada, and we met with Democrats in communities at every corner throughout our state. No matter where we were at in our state, Nevada Democrats have one thing in common. They are fired up to elect Kamala Harris as our next president of the United States and are rolling up their sleeves to get the work done on her behalf. We know that the road to the White House runs through Nevada. So we are talking to our friends, our families, and neighbors about the importance of electing Kamala Harris this November, and why another 4 years of Donald Trump would be disastrous for Nevada's hardworking families. We just won't let that happen. That's why I am honored to cast my ballot for Kamala Harris today to make her our party official nominee for president.
Thank you so much,
And
Chair
I think I'm
Monroe
the next.
Moreno. The passion and fire, you can just feel it coming all the way from the field in Nevada here today. Thank you so much, Chair Monroe Moreno, for joining us on the call today. And thank you again to Robert Corona from IBEW in California. We know there's a lot at stake in this election, and it is wonderful to have so many community members and delegates talking about the reason why they are casting their vote for Kamala Harris today. What do you think? Should we check back in with Eli before we wrap things up here?
Should we? Oh, you know what? I'm getting a notice. Before we do that, we have to connect with a special guest. Folks, I am very pleased to present to you someone who is very critical to our party's infrastructure and party leadership. Please welcome to the show the chair of Democratic National Committee, Jamie Harrison. Hey, Chair. Little bit of trouble with Mr. Harrison's audio, but we're going back to him in a second. Folks, while we have you, we had to make a plug for ways that you can get involved right now. You know the best way to do that? KamalaHarris.com/organize.
And you might say, well, what is it? What happens when you sign up at that link?
Yeah.
Don't worry, we've got a space for you. We are phone banking, we are knocking on doors, we are sending out text messages, we are trying to connect the people with the policies because we know Vice President Harris is going to lead us to victory on November 5th, and you definitely need to be part of those conversations. What do you think?
And Nadia, I think it's important to remind folks that they're not in this campaign alone. Did y'all know that more than 3,600,000 volunteers have signed up since President Biden endorsed Vice President Harris and she launched this historic campaign? So you won't be alone when you go to KamalaHarris.com/organize.
I gotta say, I'm on this campaign and I am shocked at the updates every single hour at the new number of volunteers that are coming in, the number of volunteer shifts that are being locked in. This is a phenomenal and electric moment. It is historic.
And, Nadia, you should do it at the top. I wanted to check in with you. How are things looking over there?
Well, they're looking great. Thanks so much, Ryan. This process started at just 9 a.m. this morning, and we're already so far into the process, so you can hear the dings going off. We're continuing to collect those ballots in order to nominate Vice President Harris. It's going really well.
I'm gonna do the hope story. I'll start off with the hope story and then go into this.
Thanks, Eli. That's awesome to see. Nadia, I wanted to make a quick plug for something. Between Eli, you, me, we're wearing a lot of campaign merch, and we wanted folks to not know they were alone. So, folks, I recommend you head out to store.kamalaharris.com.
So just let me know
get
if I need to extend it or not.
Get a t-shirt, join us in our campaign.
I love it. I think these pins really pop, and that shirt, blue is a good color for us.
That's right. That's right. And what are, Nadia, when you're on the ground, when you're working in community, you work with all of our national Asian American leaders across the country. What are some of your favorite ways to engage them? What ways should folks watching get involved just like they are?
Well, I'm going to go back to that sign up to volunteer link. There is real power in being able to talk about your story and your experience with the policies that the Biden-Harris administration have been able to move forward over these past 3.5 years. The power of storytelling, the power of having a conversation with your friend, your neighbor, it is what builds a sense of community, and that is how this campaign really moves itself forward. So again, we are on phones, we are on text, we are writing postcards, we are doing rallies in community. If you're looking for a touch point on this campaign, we have it for you, and that volunteer link is going to be so key. The other thing I'll say here is I feel like a lot of people are seeing themselves in this campaign. So if you have not had a chance to see the launch ad or any of the other ads that this campaign has dropped, take a look at it, share it with friends, share it with family, and watch it multiple times, because I can guarantee that you will see yourself amongst those images.
I love that. Make sure to check out kamalaharris.com/organize. We really want y'all to join our campaign. Look at the number of actions that we have today that you can do virtually this weekend across the country and in all battleground states. That is how we will win, by organizing our communities, talking to the folks that we know, and making sure we can send Vice President Harris to the presidency. This is wild. I'm just getting a ping. We are now joined by the chair of the Democratic National Committee, Jamie Harrison. Chair, can you hear us? How are you doing?
I can hear you, Ryan. I'm doing well, and it's so good to see both of you there today. Listen, I want to tell a story at the start. I am so proud to be the chair of this party. The Democratic Party has represented for me that it is the party of hope. And to start off, I'm going to tell you a little story about what gives me hope. Many of you know that I was a staffer for the legendary Congressman Jim Clyburn. I worked on Capitol Hill. My job was to count the votes in order to pass legislation. I was the floor director in the Majority Whip's office. There was one night in which I was working late in the office, and it was so late at night that a member of the custodial staff started coming by and vacuuming and wiping things down. And I noticed her, but I went on doing my work. And finally, I had that feeling, right? That feeling you have when somebody is looking at you. And I had that feeling. I looked up, and there she was in the doorway. And I motioned to her, and I said, "Ma'am, do you need to come in?" I said, "You're my boss. I'll come out into the hallway and I'll do my work." And she said, "No, son, you sit right there." She said, "I come and clean your office every night. You have a nice office." And I said, "Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. And I appreciate all that you do." She said, "Now, are you from South Carolina?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am." She said, "Are you from Orangeburg?" I said, "Yes, I am from Orangeburg." She walked over to my wall and she saw some pictures, and she said, "Are these pictures of your family?" I said, "Yes, they are." She held one picture up and she pointed to a person on it, and she said, "Is that your mom?" I said, "Yes, that's my mom." "Is your mom's name Patricia Harrison?" I said, yes, my mom is Patricia Harrison. And she stopped right in the middle of the room and she started shaking. And she said, oh my God, I know your mom. I went to high school with your mom. I remember when your mom became pregnant and had to stop school in order to have you. And she came over and she hugged me and she said, I would have never thought that Patricia Harrison's son would be right here. You give me hope. My friends, that's what this party is all about. It's about giving people hope. It doesn't matter what background you are, what race you are, what religion, who you pray to, who you love, how you identify yourselves. Every person in this country deserves and should have the opportunity to live the American dream. That's what Joe Biden represents. That's what Kamala Harris represents. That is what the Democratic Party fights for every single day. So as chair of this great party, as chair of this party that is built on hope, I am so proud to confirm that Vice President Harris has earned more than a majority of votes from all convention delegates and will be the nominee of the Democratic Party following the close of voting on Monday. The outpouring of support we have witnessed for the vice president has been unprecedented. We knew your ballots would come back quickly, but the fact that we can say today, just one day after we open voting, that the vice president has crossed the majority threshold and will officially be our nominee next week, folks, that is simply outstanding. You returned your nomination petitions at lightning speed. You made your voices heard. And what you said was clear. We are not going back. We have to send Kamala Harris to the White House. You demonstrated your dedication and your commitment to this process. We were already impressed, but you all somehow have managed to outdo yourselves. Folks, I'm sure you can see the commotion around me. I'm thrilled to be speaking to you from the United Center, where in just 17 days, the vice president will make her acceptance speech. The stage is quite literally being set and being built right now. Everyone here is hard at work putting together what will certainly be a historic and momentous convention. We are going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate the Biden-Harris administration's success, Vice President Harris's vision, and our party's agenda to defend democracy and protect the rights and freedoms of all Americans. I'm proud to be a Democrat every day. We fight for every American. We stand up for our rights and freedoms. We are an important part of defending our nation's democracy. But today, my friends, is special because we can proudly say we will have the first woman of color at the top of a major party ticket. I'm proud to be a Democrat, and I am honored to be chair of this great party. To my friends who have not submitted their ballots yet, it's not too late to join the party and get in on this fun. Folks, you don't want to miss out. So to ensure that we head to our convention in Chicago with a show of force, a show of unity, it's critical that every delegate, every single one of you, every delegate returns their ballot. It's what you were sent to the convention to do. Your vote is important. It will go towards your state's roll call at the in-person convention, and it will show the strength and unity of this party. So folks, don't let your fellow Democrats down, and be sure to get your ballot in before Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Together, we will rally around Vice President Kamala Harris and demonstrate the strength of our party as the nation tunes into Chicago and all of us here at the United Center. And I can assure, on August 19th, this will no longer be a construction zone, my friends. But listen, I think I am I getting a call?
Jamie?
I'm getting a call right now. Yes, it
Jamie?
sounds like it's the future president of the United States, Kamala Harris. Hello,
Well,
Madam
hello.
Vice President.
Hi, Jamie, and everyone. Hello. Jamie, I just, in front of all the friends, I want to thank you for all that you have been doing. Your leadership at the Democratic National Committee, the DNC, has been extraordinary, and I know how hard you work. So, Jamie, thank you for everything that you are doing. And to everyone on the call, thank you for your hard work and all you have been doing over these last many, many, many months. And I know that we are excited about the future, but we also know that we got a lot of work to get there, and we have a lot of work to do. It's good work. We like hard work. And I just want to thank everyone for joining this call. Listen, I think we all approach our campaign with the same spirit, including that this is truly a people-powered campaign. And I would not be on this call right now and with you all were it not for your support and your trust, for which I am deeply grateful. I am honored to be the presumptive Democratic nominee for President of the United States. And I will tell you the tireless work of our delegates, our state leaders and staff has been pivotal in making this moment possible. And your dedication cannot be overstated. Your dedication to our country. You know, I know we all feel this way so strongly. We love our country. We believe in the promise of America. And that's what this campaign is about. So, of course, I will officially accept your nomination next week once the virtual voting period is closed. But already I'm happy to know that we have enough delegates to secure the nomination. And later this month, we will gather in Chicago, united as one party, where we're going to have an opportunity to celebrate this historic moment together. And again, this campaign is about all of us coming together, people coming together from every walk of life, every lived experience, and being fueled by our love of country, knowing that we are prepared to fight for the best of who we are. We believe in the promise of America, a promise of freedom, opportunity, and justice, not just for some, but for all. And ultimately, in this election, you all have heard me say many times, we each face the question, what kind of country do we want to live in? Do we want to live in a country of freedom, compassion, and rule of law, or a country of chaos, fear, and hate? And the beauty of our democracy is we each, every one of us, has the power to answer that question. And that is why I say and know the power is with the people. So here's the bottom line. I say to all the friends on the call, we are going to win this election, and it is going to take all of us, whether it is making calls, connecting with our communities, engaging online, or even talking with people where we go every day, whether it be to the grocery store or our church. We are going to talk with people about the fact that we are all in this together and we stand together. And so let's let folks know that our campaign is about the future, and it's about an expansion of rights and freedoms and for the opportunity of everyone to not just get by, but to get ahead. So November 5th is 95 days away, and North Carolina, for everyone there, you're kicking us off with absentee ballots that are being sent in just 35 days. So we are in this, everyone. We are in this. We are on the road. And you know, it's not going to be easy, but we're gonna get this done. And as your future president, I know we are up to this fight. And when we fight, everyone will say in unison, we win. So thank you, everyone. Please take care. And I can't wait to see you in Chicago. And thank you again, Jamie.
Thank you so much, Madam Vice President and Chair Harrison, for joining this group of supporters on this historic, powerful, emotional moment. And congrats again, Madam Vice President.
Wow, I'm beaming. That was historic. I hope everyone on this call is as excited as we are. Folks, as you know, this election will be very close and will be decided by a small number of votes in just a few states. We need every one of you to do what you can to support Vice President Harris. There are so many ways that you can get involved in this campaign, and I promise that there is a place for you here. So please visit kamalaharris.com/organize to sign up to volunteer and find an event near you. We cannot win without you.
And as Nadia mentioned, there are countless ways you can show your support. We are really excited to let y'all know we just released 5,000 limited edition posters. You can see it behind me that you all can get for free at kamalaharris.com/history. That is kamalaharris.com/history, and they're free. Oh, and I have to tell you, while you're there, if you want to pick up some of this awesome merch that we've been wearing, we have something special for you there too. Use the discount code Kamala for 20% off your purchase. All right, one last mention, kamalaharris.com/history. We want to close this amazing, historic, emotional, powerful event by thanking all of our incredible delegates and to Team Eli and the delegate operations team for their work. And thank you to everyone, even if you're not a delegate, for your support and for joining this call on this historic day. The Democratic National Convention in Chicago, where we will unite at the United Center, is right around the corner. So let's keep the momentum going. Thanks so much, everybody.